Did you know that the first Indiana Jones video game was on the Atari console in 1981 and it was called Raiders of the Lost Ark? It wasn't very good. You're listening to the Xbox Hub Podcast, the official podcast of the txboxhub.com. For all the latest Xbox news, reviews, videos and opinions, make sure you visit the txboxhub.com. But for now, settle down, get comfy, and open your ears for some podcast delights. Hello, welcome to the Xbox Hub Official Podcast, episode 189. My name's Gareth Broddy. I'm going to be your host, and on my virtual left is Mr. Darren Edwards. How you doing, Darren?
Hello, good evening. Very good to be here. Can't believe it's 189, but here we are.
Here we are. And on my virtual right is Mr. Paul Renshaw. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing okay, thank you, Gareth. I also cannot believe it's 189. Who would have thought all those many moons ago?
Exactly.
You'd still be going.
Yeah. It's Happy New Year to everyone. I know it's a bit late. When is it now? The 10th. But this is our first podcast back after the new year, which is exciting.
Just like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
It's my birthday soon, March. It's nearer my birthday than it is
Mine's in March.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's a bit spooky.
Mine's the end of February.
Oh, what's our date? Go on. What's your date for the February one?
27th.
27th. What's your March one, Paul?
23rd.
7th. Everyone's got our personal details. They're going into our bank accounts.
Yeah. Well, that's it, yeah. I'm not going to tell you my mother's maiden name, just in case.
Good, right. We're going to go into what we've been doing. I think, first of all, let's talk about, instead of what we've been doing for the last week, maybe have a quick chat about what we've been watching over the Christmas period. Maybe what you've been playing over the Christmas. But let's talk about what we've been watching. Anything you've enjoyed or any news. Paul, let's start with you. You've probably got news. What's happened?
Well, I've been playing games, but, we don't want to talk about that on an Xbox podcast, do we? What I will say is that Amazon Prime has now got a new series of Reacher, which has made me very happy. So I've been watching that. But it's a bit weird because they're not doing it in the usual way. They're releasing one episode every Friday. So it's almost like terrestrial television back in the day. So I'm saving them up now. We've not watched it for about 3 weeks. We watched the first 4, and then we've sort of held off so we can watch the next 3 or maybe even 4. It depends how many are in the series, in the season, rather. But yeah, I'm loving it so far. It's the guy who plays Reacher is just absolutely perfect. I can't remember his name, but he's massive and you won't want to smell his pint. But yeah, so I'm very much enjoying that, and that is literally all I have watched on television.
Ah, okay. Everything is now once a week now. They do it because they don't want you to get a description and then cancel it after you watched everything in a loop.
That sounds like the voice for experience there, Gareth. Just how many email addresses do you have?
Yeah, it's true. Good, Reacher. There you go. I've watched a couple of episodes of the first one. I liked it, but I've forgotten about it. But I've got to go back. Darren, what have you watched? Anything fun?
Yeah, we've watched a fair bit. So work's been pretty mad over Christmas, as you would expect. So most of my game time has been Baldur's Gate 3, which we'll come on to later. But I've played quite a few. I've watched quite a few good things, rather. So Vigil, season 2. I don't know if you watched the first season. It was done by the chap Jed Mercutio, I think he's called, who did Line of Duty. So the first series was set on a submarine, and this second series is about drone AI that goes wrong. And it's really good, really, really good. Slow Horses, that's an Apple TV Plus one, Gareth. I don't know if you've watched that. Absolutely brilliant. So that's just had its 3rd season.
Paul would love that.
Finished.
I think he really liked it. It's really
Gary
good.
Oldman is perfect. It's basically about a unit of MI6 called Slough House, where the kind of failed agents get sent as punishment. But actually, they all complement each other quite well. So it never goes as professional as you'd think, but they kind of get there in the end. But yeah, it's just fantastically produced and acted, and it's just brilliant. So we really enjoyed that. Traitors is back. Season 2 started last week. A guilty pleasure in the reality space. It's brilliant. Give it a go.
It's not. It's rubbish.
It's brilliant. I even like Claudia Winkleman after it, and normally she gets on my nerves, but no, I love it. I'm all in for that, all in. And then finally we gave that Mr. Bates versus the Post Office a watch, and it was really, really well done. Great cast, really kind of shows the power of a TV drama rather than just a documentary, because obviously there's been announcements that they're going to exonerate and overturn everyone's convictions. Slight shame that it's taken a TV drama to get there, but it's a force for good, and it's a really good watch as well if you're interested in getting a really good understanding of what the whole Post Office Horizon scandal is all about. So yeah, we've been watching some really good TV over the last few weeks, to be fair.
Maybe that's what 2024 is going to be about, is, you know, just get everything moving in government. You just TV programs.
Yeah,
that's what it's going to be. No, they don't.
It out. Brexit. Where did it go wrong?
Yeah, where did it go right? Yeah, I don't think it started, did it? Yeah, if we can agree on that.
Sorry, Paul, you're going to say
that this Slow Horses, where all the failures get sent. That sounds like the Xbox Hub podcast department. We don't work in the correct way, but somehow we manage to get going. We get stuff done, don't we? So, despite Gareth starting off with, "Why is this not recording?"
It maybe isn't recorded. Maybe this is all going to be missed. There is that one. There is that one podcast that we never recorded. It got lost in time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you remember what you've said so far, Darren?
I have to write it down.
It might be an echo chamber at this point, but we'll keep going.
I watched loads of stuff, and I can't remember any of it, but a lot of it was catching up on things that was on my list. There's a Netflix series called Beef. He's just won Best Actor and Best Actress in a TV series in the Golden Globes. It's brilliant. I absolutely loved it. It's really unique. If you're on Netflix, give it a go. It's about these two people, however, in America, who right at the start they have a road rage incident between them, and they chase each other, and then then it just gets worse out of control. They hunt each other down, and then it just spirals. But it's much more than that. It's really clever, kind of like comedy drama. It's really, really good. I really recommend that.
I thought it was a documentary, the way you were describing it then.
People
in America chasing each other down. I thought that's every day.
It's really good. And I finally saw Oppenheimer over Christmas. Christmas Eve, I think I might have saw that.
Brilliant.
Which again has won loads of awards now, and the Golden Globes looks like an Oscar favourite. Yeah, I loved it, so it's very good. Very, very good. Usually, I didn't think it was 3 hours. It didn't feel like 3 hours. It felt,
I felt the same.
Yeah.
I was transfixed. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, really.
I've not seen it.
A lot
I
of people
preferred Barbie.
There you go.
No, for the record, listeners, I haven't seen either. So
he's only seen Reacher, and he's got to wait for that once a week. Let's talk about games. It's slow at the moment, of course. It's the start of the year. And we're going to talk about what we're looking forward to in 2024 in a minute. But we have been playing some games, and Darren's just put a review up now. What's this game, Darren?
Finally,
I know. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't do it full time. So I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3. And ideally would have had the review out a couple of weeks ago, but here we are. So I've got about 40 hours in so far, and it deserves the hype it's getting. It is quite incredible on many different fronts. So I kind of started the review casting our minds back to the Game Awards when we expected it to be announced and it wasn't, and then afterwards there was a bit of a press release saying it was being released on Xbox, and it was there and it was ready to go. And for those who have been living under a rock for the last month, it's an RPG set in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. And it begins with your character. You're on this alien ship, and you basically get a parasite inserted into your brain. You escape and survive, but then you set out on a quest trying to find a cure and get it removed, essentially, and it goes from there. But the world is incredibly real. It looks great, but it's also feels like it's teeming with life in terms of there's loads of people to kind of talk to, or you might get ambushed, or a conversation will all of a sudden will take you down a different turn. The voice acting's brilliant, and there's loads of characters that have got really good voice acting as well. In terms of how the narrative plays out, you can play the same portion of the game in so many different ways, because you can also choose from pre-built characters with their classes, or you can make your own character as well. It's just great. And I've played 40 hours, but I've had to try and push forward with the narrative as much as I can for the review. But I could have easily spent those 40 hours just in the first few hours of the game, playing it with different classes, playing it in different ways, going off to explore and find different secrets. It's really, really good. My only kind of criticisms, there were some slight niggles, so it's a bit buggy still, nothing game breaking, but also the controls can be a bit fiddly. There's a few things they've put in, so trying to select what to interact with can be a bit of a nightmare, especially if there's piles of bodies and stuff. So you can use the D-pad to toggle left and right, and it'll cycle through them, or you can click down on the left thumbstick to bring up like a focused kind of reticule to select what you want. But even then, it's still a little bit clunky, but it's minor stuff. Overall, it's mightily impressive. I'm loving it. It's swallowed up my whole life over the last few weeks.
And what have you given it, Darren?
I gave it a 5 out of 5. I think it was, the cons were not big enough to take it down, because our scoring system, 5 out of 5 is 90 to 100, isn't it? So I couldn't put it in a lower band than that. It fully deserves the 5 out of 5.
Great. Paul, have you purchased it yet?
I haven't purchased it yet. The erstwhile editor of the website keeps sending me other games to play. I haven't got time to play games for fun like some kind of filthy
I've
casual.
got a game for you as well, Paul.
You can stick that game exactly. Well, yeah. Well, like Lee said, soon is mended. But if you're really stuck, I'll help you out. But I'm not keen. I didn't like any of the Payday ones. And in fact, every time I have to help you with a review game, they turn out to be dreadful.
Oh, well, I've not played Payday 3 yet, to be fair, but I picked it up because we need to review it. So,
Is it on Game Pass?
Yes, it is.
Okay, then. So that'll be why. Oh God, yeah, fine. If you need help, what you need, if you need a good trigger man, it's Gareth. He's apparently red hot at Destiny and stuff, so he'd be just the man.
I'm too busy. I've got a job, unlike Paul. Doesn't do anything. Unlike Paul, just travels on motorways and does memes.
Motorways and memes are very important.
That's going to be a new show on Apple TV.
It is, yeah.
Paul Renshaw, Motorways and memes. This week.
Oh God, yeah. This week is Kenneth Williams and the M1. So,
good. Okay.
What are we talking about?
Good. Baldur's Gate 3.
I've literally no idea. It's meant to be an Xbox podcast, but you know.
We like that game. Yes, it does look good. I've only done the first bit of it, and I'll explain why I haven't done more of it. But I really liked what I played. Oh, Paul, stop breathing. Oh, blimey. It's getting excited.
Hello. I'm not breathing.
Oh, dear. Paul, what have you been playing?
I have been playing. There's going to be a theme about the games I've been playing this week, and that theme is twin stick shooters. Are you both aware of twin stick shooters?
Yes.
You know what they are, yeah?
Of R-Type, yeah.
R-Type is not a twin stick shooter,
is it not?
R-Type is just a shoot 'em up.
Things like Smash scrolling one.
Yeah, Smash TV was the very first one that I ever played. Okay. So, you run your character one way and shoot the other. So you move with the left stick, shoot with the right. Yeah.
Yeah, Geometry Wars is one. I know what you mean.
There you go then. Right. Anyway, thank you for that, Darren. Paul's video game school is in session. Right. So the first one that I've played is an interesting one, I think is the best way of putting it. It's called Super Trunko Go. And you play the titular Super Trunko, and it will come as no surprise to learn that you're an elephant, but you're a heavily armed elephant, because as you run around the levels, you can pick up new weapons, all of which are attached to your face. So you shoot with your trunk, if you like. And basically, it's a twin stick shooter. It looks a bit like it'd be for the younger generation. However, the difficulty isn't for the younger generation. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. It's okay, but it's not going to set the world on fire. The review is live on the site, and I definitely gave it something out of 5, but I can't remember what. So other than that, yeah, it's all right. It's not great, but meh. So there you go.
Happy New Year. Good. It's a good start.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll start as we mean to go on.
I'm going to just talk about a game that we talked about before, and I think I said on the podcast I said I'm going to go back to Starfield and put some hours in, and I did over Christmas. I played a lot of Starfield. I think I've done about 25 to 30 hours maybe in that area. And I'm completely hooked again. And it's and you look at that game, and I think maybe Baldur's Gate, when it came out on the PC in August and it came out on the PlayStation in September. I think that it maybe just harmed critically. I don't think it's harmed people buying it or playing it. I think it harmed its kind of reputation. It didn't do very well at the awards. I think people maybe were a bit... But actually, it's a really well-crafted game. I mean, there's so much to it. It's like, I can't remember the beginning. It's just like I have somewhere else on a location. And I'm going, God, there's so many different locations they've crafted across these planets. The story's really engrossing. You kind of really get involved in your character. It's like a good, exciting kind of Fallout experience when you're... Paul, stop breathing. I can hear you breathing.
I'm not breathing. I'm sat here minding my own business.
It's not Darren. It's you. I can hear you.
I'm muted myself, so it's definitely
It's definitely Paul. Mute yourself when I'm talking. And it's just a really well-crafted game, as we know before, as we said before. But I would recommend the two of you to get back into it. Give it a good go. I think I'm going to play it for the rest of January, and then I'll go back to Baldur's Gate and start that. Those two games are probably going to last me the whole year.
They could do, yeah.
Have you played any more of it, Paul?
I haven't played any more of it, but I've seen quite a lot on X now about people who've played it for hundreds of hours and then they've suddenly decided they don't like it. Have you seen this thing that's going on? Yeah. It's like a thing now on X where you've played this game for hours and hours and then you suddenly decide that you don't like it after all. So it's just like, surely if you don't like a game, you'd notice it within the first sort of 2 or 3 hours. You wouldn't put 200 hours in and then go, yeah, you know what? I don't like that. No. Yeah. So, yeah, it does seem to be a thing at the moment. Everybody hating on Starfield, which is bonkers.
It doesn't deserve it.
So, no, it doesn't.
Good. Now, Darren, you haven't got a second game, have you? Because you've been so busy playing Baldur's Gate.
I have.
Yeah, that's true. It's fine. Paul, have you got another one to talk about? Another twin shooter?
I have got another one. Another twin stick shooter, believe it or not. And this one actually launched on Game Pass, which was quite good. It's called From Space. And basically the world has been taken over by these aliens that look a bit like bubblegum, the sort of pink blobs. And you have to introduce them to the hot end of your weapon and get rid of them. And it's 4-player drop-in, drop-out co-op. And you can just play with randoms from all over the world, or you can play with your friends if you want to. And because it launched on Game Pass, the community in the game is really quite strong. So you don't stay on your own for very long. If you set your game to public, other people come and join you. There's a campaign mode, which is lots of fun, lots of things to do. And there's also a horde mode, which is good fun as well. And yeah, I scored that much more highly than Super Trunko Go because it's really, really very good. It may even have been a 4.5. I'm not quite sure.
I asked that.
It might have been. Okay. But yeah, it's very good. So if you find yourself with a few minutes to spare and you fancy something that's just good, mindless fun, running around shooting pink blobby aliens, look up From Space on Game Pass.
Okay, we'll do. Have a look at that. The last game I'm just going to talk about is a game I got from on our review board, and it was one that had to quickly go, and it's just before Christmas, and it's called Grey Dawn, and I sort of picked it up. We had to quickly get it. It was released on the 23rd, and it starts the game, and you're a kind of like priest in the first person view in a kind of house, and there's a Christmas tree, and there's Christmas carols playing on the radio. I was thinking, oh, this is good. I've done a right choice here. And then the crows start going at the window, and the teacups turn into blood, and then it all goes wrong. So Grey Dawn is a kind of like a first-person exploration horror game where you're the journey is it's set in 1920s England, and you're this priest, and you're sort of haunted by the death of a child. You don't know how this child's died, whether you killed the child, whether someone else killed the child, whether you're wrongly accused, and you kind of walk through this kind of like mansion you're in, trying to kind of find out clues. But it becomes very weird. It's like the person's suffering kind of hallucinations and kind of breakdowns. So you go into kind of different magical worlds where you're trying to sort of work out what happened with this crime. It's deeply kind of has religious symbolic kind of images, which are amazing all the way through. At one point, you go to a funeral, and it's like you have to conduct the funeral. It's kind of one of the saddest things I've ever done on the Xbox, especially on Christmas Eve. Yeah, I was doing that. I'm going out with the incense.
Do you need to talk to somebody, Gareth?
Yeah,
you want some therapy?
I do. I think I do. But I really liked it. I liked a little indie game. I thought it was great. Really, really clever. Really different. I don't know how many people will pick this up or even know about it, but it's there if you want to give it a go. If you like your kind of like, especially your kind of stranger horror games, maybe kind of more exploration stuff, give it a go. Grey Dawn. Really enjoyed it.
Was the main reason you liked it because it featured walking about?
Oh yeah, I love a bit of walking about, a bit of puzzle solving, walking about, attended funerals, all my favourite stuff.
Happy 2024.
Yay!
Keep it light.
Let's go down to some news. We're going to have a quick look at some stuff. It's quiet at the moment. Now let's go down because it's quite interesting. The sort of rumour about a next Halo game, which I completely forgot there might be. Of course there would be, but I forgot that it might be. I completely forgot about Halo. There's a couple of job listings that an unannounced Halo game has been built in Unreal Engine 5, and they've probably been working on it since 2023. None of this is a surprise when you think about it, really. They're going to be doing another Halo game. They've probably been working on it for a couple of years already. What do you want to see, Darren, from your next Halo game?
I mean, I'm going to defend Halo Infinite in terms of the multiplayer. I think is great if you're into that type of thing. And they've put a lot of work into it. And recently they released a load of old Halo 3 maps and stuff, which have kept fans very happy. But my criticism of Halo Infinite, I remember I gave it a 4 out of 5 and people were really surprised because I'm like a bit of a Halo fanboy for the Xbox Hub. And it was just around the single player. It just wasn't as strong as I thought it could have been. And I've been expecting DLC for it for ages and nothing's happened. So if this is another brand new game, I'm not sure it will be in the main series. It could be a spin-off or something, I don't know. Because I thought they would have released DLC first for Halo Infinite before bringing out a brand new game. But I might be completely wrong if they're going with Unreal Engine 5. They might be deciding to draw a line under the narrative in Halo Infinite and go for a new one. So I don't know, really. I don't get the hopes up of Halo anymore, if I'm being honest, because I was disappointed with 5 massively, and 6 I enjoyed, but it didn't reach the heights of Halo 1 and Halo 3 back in the day for me, because Halo was always about being a big cinematic single player, you against impossible odds kind of adventure. The music was epic, the storyline, although it was fairly straightforward, was epic as well, and it had the kind of same beats as a Hollywood movie. So, yeah, I'm just going to quietly sit back and see what comes of it, to be fair.
I mean, this probably won't be coming out for at least a couple of years. Or, if it's normally we're looking at 5 to 6 years on the development of these big games now, maybe more. So if they started working 2020, 2027, maybe, I don't know. But we don't know. But yeah, of course it'd be.
It could be. Yeah. It could be they wait for the next console and have it as like a launch title for that or something, like they did for the very first Xbox. The original Halo was a launch title, wasn't it?
Yeah. And of course, they haven't even done the Forge mode, have they? It's still on this other Halo.
I don't think so.
That's not been released yet.
The firefight mode was one of the things that came back recently, but yeah, I don't believe that's on there yet. Forge mode.
Yeah. Good. It was a good year. Just really briefly for the game industry last year, it overtook in the UK the biggest entertainment sector in 2023 over film and TV, which is I'm surprised it hasn't done it before actually. But yeah, it's still people are still buying games. We have got an Xbox Series S toaster. Who put this in?
Oh, I did. So you know,
That's brilliant.
This caught my eye because years ago, when the original Xbox One was released, aesthetically people didn't like it, and they said it looks like a toaster. Remember the big one, the original?
Yeah.
So now they've actually released a toaster styled on the Series S, and I'd have it in my kitchen.
Yeah,
it looks
that's
quite
good.
to be
Definitely.
fair.
Yeah.
And it even toasts the Xbox logo onto the bread, which is fantastic. Yeah, it's all about.
Is it? Can
You
you,
know,
buy
the
it now?
Xbox bridge and the Xbox toaster.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
So Currys stock it, I think. Other retailers are available, because they had the fridge, and I love the idea of having the fridge, even when the price was dropped. But it just isn't big enough or practical enough. But I kind of wanted to get one, and had to check myself for throwing a load of money down the drain. But the toaster, I don't know how much it is actually. $40. So what's that? £29.
That's not bad.
So that's not too bad, is
Yeah.
it, for a bit of a throwaway present?
Yeah.
I love it. It's
Good.
great.
Maybe Neil can buy us all one. For the
Maybe he will.
Yeah.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
That'd be nice.
New Year,
Happy New Year, Neil. Thanks, Neil.
Toaster.
Thank you. Good. And let's talk about the Baldur's Gate 3. We're back to that. And there's been
I was
some
waiting to hear if Darren got in trouble for that.
so there's been some problems with people getting the most spicy clips and uploading them. Is that right, Darren? You want to tell us about this?
Yeah, so apparently people were getting banned, Xbox players, because they were uploading clips. Because one of the things around Baldur's Gate is that it's not afraid to go there in terms of having relationships with your co-adventurers. So people were getting banned because they were uploading clips of in-game nudity and stuff. However, I think they came back and said, no, it's a mistake. We're not going to ban you for that. And they started to unban players, I think. So
Right.
yeah, a bit of a flap around the sexy time that's involved in Baldur's Gate 3.
Good. Brilliant. Well, thank God for that.
Why would you want to make a clip of that and upload it then?
This is the internet, so I
but
just
what
don't
sort
question
of
it.
mouth-breathing neckbeards are doing this? Honestly,
You've been watching some of the clips. No.
I haven't. It was just I've read about it, and I just thought my immediate thought was, why did you put yourself in that situation? When you're watching something unfold on screen, what's the first thought is, I'd best make a clip of that.
Well,
I don't know. There's some odd people in this world.
There you go.
I don't know. I mean, people have thought it was an automatic. Suspensions were automatic, but Microsoft was saying that people clips are reviewed by moderators, so people are confused to why there was these mass bannings, and now it's been overturned. But the good news is, if you want to upload those clips, apparently now you can do so.
Good.
But if you do, have a word with yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you do, have a bit of soul search in there, because that's for your eyes only, not for everybody's eyes.
Good. Let's talk about this is our monthly thing. We're quite late into the month now, we're on the 10th, but we'll still do it because it hasn't been much come up until this moment. It's our article we do every month, which is the best Xbox and Game Pass games you should be playing in January. Now, Dave Ozzy, he does our article here, and we get on this podcast every month, and we haven't heard of any of these games, or we get annoyed.
Flag him off, wondering what he's talking about.
Yeah, poor Dave.
Poor Dave.
Stupid Dave.
Yeah. So we've only got 9 because it's quite a slow month, but we're going to go through them now. But there's some good ones here. The first one on the list is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Yeah.
That's coming out quite soon, isn't it? 15th, maybe. Bloody he hasn't put the dates on it.
Quite looking forward to that one.
Yeah, who's interested with this one?
I am.
Me, big time. We have to fight it out, Paul, for this one.
You got Baldur's Gate 3. You can piss off.
I did, but I've championed this since it was first announced.
Of course you have. I mean, I reviewed the first 2 Baldur's Gate games, so don't come the raw prawn with me sometime.
There we go. Well, we've got some excitement about that game. I can't even throw my hat into the ring. I think I'm out of it now.
It's easy to see who Neil's favourite is, isn't it, Darren?
Oh, well, you know.
Good.
We'll see what happens.
But that's coming out 15th very soon. The next one on the list is Turnip Boy Robs a Bank. I think this is coming to Game Pass, this one, yeah. I think someone's reviewing it for us at the moment. I can't remember who it is. Maybe it's... Yeah, I don't know who it is. But yeah, that's going to be coming out, I think, at the end of the month, but I'm not 100%. Maybe mid-month again. This is the Turnip Boy. Did anyone play Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion?
Yeah, and it was rubbish.
There we go. That's from Paul.
I haven't, so I can't comment.
But it's coming out. It's one of our highlights, even though Paul said it's rubbish.
Highlight.
You can tell I didn't put this list together.
Good. That's the next one. Next one is Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. Darren, are you reviewing this?
Oh, here we go. Is this another one for you, Des?
I can't comment because there's an embargo, gentlemen, and I would not break an embargo, but I maybe reviewing this. What I can say for sure is I put out a preview of this towards the back end of last year, so I can tell you a bit about this game. So this is the Ace Attorney trilogy, games 4, 5, and 6 in the Phoenix Wright series. So Phoenix Wright is the original attorney who was in the first, second, and third games, and they were all released on Nintendo DS and 3DS, I believe, in the first round of releases, and they're coming to Xbox. The 4, 5, and 6 are anyway. 1, 2, and 3 have previously been released as a trilogy. So they are available if you want to kind of get up to speed, and they're really good games. They're really well written. There isn't a lot of playing involved. It's more kind of studying what's happening and deciding when to present evidence to catch out people who are giving testimony and solve cases. But if you like a good narrative, as I'm sure you do, Gareth, not so sure about Paul, then these are good games.
Excuse me, I'm all about the narrative.
Oh, okay. I'll get you confused with Neil. Yeah, apologies.
Can you still shout objection?
You can.
Because you used to be able to shout it, didn't you?
Yeah.
And the DS would hear you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The microphone in the DS.
Yeah.
Well, remember.
But I don't think you can do that now, can you?
You can if you want, but it won't have any effect. But you can still do it.
So you can sit there going objection, and then the game will just ignore you.
But if you sync it to when you press the objection button, then you'll never know the difference.
This is a fascinating insight into your life. I'm sure Ryan sat there going, "What are you doing, Darren? Objection!"
I just like to suck into the whole mystery and drama of the courtroom cases, but they're really good. It's really well written as well.
Fantastic.
So
Good.
Give it a look.
When's it out, Darren? Can you remember?
It's out. It's towards the end of this month.
Right.
Yeah. I want to say a couple of weeks' time, but I'll come back to you. I'll have a look.
Good. Next one on the list is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I think this is the end of the month
Where's
as well.
Doppel when we need him?
This is mad. I'm not going to ever play this. It's not for me. I
get so confused. There's so many of these games now. I don't know where I'm...
Isn't this like a sort of like Animal Crossing stroke? You're sort of building an island and stuff. But people are really excited about this. I mean, this is like...
Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Isn't it like a kind of like you're building stuff?
You're right. There is something like that in there. I've never played a Yakuza game or spin-off properly. And I'm a bit scared to start now because there's so many of them.
But everyone's very, very excited. Also, when it's been the game of the year already, so it's we'll find out from Richard what this is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is Tekken 8.
Yes.
Tekken 8.
I'm excited about this.
Another one for Darren.
Another one for
here
me.
We go. Another one for me.
Just to confirm, Ace Attorney is out on the 25th of January, so a couple of weeks' time.
Thank you.
We've moved on. We've moved on since then.
Right, okay. Tekken 8, yeah. So I played the beta of this towards the back end of last year as well. I haven't played Tekken properly since Tekken 3 on the PS1, but I've got very good memories of that. But I really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. It trod the right line between being accessible and not being overwhelming because of all the combos and stuff you can do. But you don't just get away with button bashing, and that'll be a surefire way of winning. And there was online servers as well, so the matchmaking was pretty good as well. And they've gone down the Street Fighter 6 route. Like there's a communal kind of player area where you can go into like beach ball mode and play beach ball like in the old ones, or you can buy kind of gear for your characters and all sorts of other bits and bobs. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it looks good.
Okay, good. You a Tekken fan, Paul?
I am a Tekken fan. I also played the beta and enjoyed it thoroughly. So yeah, and the boy played it as well, and he quite liked it. He's never played a fighting game before, but he could get on with Tekken 8. So
you going in for this one?
There don't seem much point, does there? I think Darren's got the entire year's going up at the moment.
Paul.
It was
got your VIP.
You know, I'll pick up all the crumbs that he leaves. Don't worry.
It was your year last year, Paul. Now it's Darren's year. So this is it.
That's it. We all have a year in the sun. When's it going to be yours?
It'd never be mine. It'd never be mine. I don't do it. I just get to do the Assassin's Creed every now and then.
And that's out on the January the 26th. That's the day after Ace Attorney.
Good.
Oh well, you can't possibly do both.
I might not be doing one. I can't say because the embargo.
Let's go on. Let's go to the next one. It's Go Mecha Ball. Anyone know about this? Go Mecha Ball, which is like a twin stick shooter. So right up Paul's alley.
Absolutely.
Super Monkey Ball.
Yeah, but I don't like Super Monkey Ball.
There you go.
So
this looks like it could be fun. Super Monkey Ball's good fun, I think.
Yeah.
Just put your name down for it, Darren. You'll get it.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to leave my job.
Next one is The Lost Legends of Redwall, the Scout Anthology. What is this?
Oh, I cannot believe this. I reviewed the first game when it first came
out. It was awful,
out.
wasn't it? Was it awful?
It was flipping awful. It was the worst game I have played. I think I gave it a 1 out of 5, and that was only because it ran.
Yeah.
No. So great, they finished the series. Awesome.
Well,
hopefully they've actually introduced some gameplay into it.
Hopefully it's better.
I'm going to have a word with Dave. I'll tell them.
It's about this little mouse who's armed with daggers who goes on a little journey. So we'll have a little look. I remember it being not great, the first one.
I wouldn't have a look if I was you, listeners, because the first part, the Scout, is the worst game I've played in a long time.
Oh my!
Every month we diss this list. Poor Dave, he's worked so hard.
And is that the end of the list?
No, we're still going.
No.
Okay.
We've got another one called Howl, which I think Dobbo's maybe reviewing, or maybe we don't know if he's reviewing. It's a kind of like turn-based tactical game that people really like. It's got a kind of like hand-drawn inky style to it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're finding out. I think that's coming out mid-Jan, so I think that's Richard's maybe doing that. So we'll find a bit more about it. Next one is Speed Crew. What the hell is Speed Crew? Anyone know about Speed Crew?
It sounds like a U game. This, Gareth. Isn't it something like a pit crew simulator sort of thing?
We don't know what it is. Have a look for Speed Crew.
I don't know what it is, but it looks like it'll be up your alley.
Someone said, I think in the article it says it's like Overcooked, but yeah, we don't have no idea.
I reviewed that.
Yes,
I like Overcooked, but it's very stressful. Do you know
Set
what
fire
Overcooked
to the
is?
car.
I think that's
Overcooked is like a management game.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
That's it.
Rubbish.
Anyone else got anything for January? Because that's our list.
Yeah. Why has he not included Pal World?
What's Pal World? Tell us about that.
Pal World is Pokemon with guns.
Oh,
what could be better?
Oh, I see.
I remember
Yes.
this. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, I can't tell you much about it. It's Pokemon with guns. What more do you need to know?
I've seen them. Yeah.
The trailers looked amazing. There's all these fluffy, cute-looking Pokemons with massive weapons running around shooting each other. It just looks insane in the best possible way.
Of the showcases we talked about.
It was.
Yeah,
we did. I remember saying it looked brilliant.
Well, we said how did they get away with it?
So much like Pokemon, the characters in it, yeah. But they've got guns.
The Nintendo lawyers should be lining up ready to go.
They really should, yeah. Lawyers assemble.
So
have to listen carefully to what Gareth says next.
So that's our January games. Very good. January games. We're so excited. It gets a bit more interesting in February for everyone.
I think there are some good games in there.
Yeah, there are. Oh god, yeah. There's the Tekken, the and the Yakuza thing. There's some big ones there coming out.
Once you've taken yours out, Gareth, Darren, there's not much left for the rest.
You've got Redwall. What would you want?
I am not doing Redwall.
You are.
I will resign. I will resign.
You need to get yourself doing those kind of games for. We can't just keep doing twin shooters.
No, God. I've done it once, but you can't make me do it again. I've still got PTSD.
Right, before we're sort of finishing up, we're going to next week. So there was an announcement yesterday, which was the Xbox are doing a conference next week. So our podcast is going to be a bit later, a couple of days later. We're going to record on the Friday because next Thursday, which I think is the 17th, is going to be Xbox and Bethesda conference, which is quite exciting because we're thinking what's going on in 2024. We don't know, and it's not only it's going to be some games we already know about. I think Avowed's going to get a thing. Hellblade 2 is going to get maybe hopefully a release date. That'd be great. But also we're going to know a bit more about Indiana Jones game, which I forgot about completely. And much more. So that's really exciting, and we're going to do a whole kind of special about that next Friday recording. But what are we looking forward to in 2024 game? It's a weird year because I think the actors' strike and the writers' strike, that's going to hit us next year with maybe some of the games and some of the development, especially in film and TV. It's really going to hit us. But we don't really know much. Normally we know a bit more like, this is coming out in the autumn, but there isn't a massive big game. Well, there is, isn't there? But there's nothing. Is there something you're really looking forward to in the next 3 months or so? Paul?
No.
There we go. Thank you.
Apart from Pal World, obviously, and Prince of Persia, and Tekken 8, and all the games Darren wants to play.
Yeah, okay. But is there, Paul? What would you want to see in 2024 that you think might be talked about? What's your kind of a couple of games that might be your dream scenarios in 2024?
Absolute dream would be. I mean, I've no idea if this is a thing or not, but do you remember Outriders?
I do.
I would like to see an Outriders 2. Whether it will happen, I don't know, but that's what I'd like to see.
Well, can you remind our audience, actually just remind me, what is Outriders?
Gareth, Outriders was a looting, shooting, third-person game, basically, where you were given strange powers and you could then control them and do various things with them. And you had to go through the whole... You became something called an altered.
Is it a Square Enix
the whole game. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I do know, yeah.
It's very, very good.
Yeah.
I'm still playing the original now. So, yeah, if we could get even just a little sort of, yes, it's happening, that would be amazing.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't care about Halo. No. What have I forgotten, Darren?
That John Carpenter game's supposed to be coming out, isn't
it? Which John Carpenter?
The zombie one on the car. You just
the zombie one where they're all driving into each other and shooting each other.
You've forgotten already. You loved it.
I've forgotten about it completely. I've slept since I've seen it, obviously. But yeah, I just want to see lots of games with explosions and stuff.
Okay.
So
good.
There you go. And as a proud PS5 owner as well, I'd like to see... well, I don't know if I'm looking forward to Final Fantasy VII, the second bit, because I'm not convinced that they went the right direction with it.
Have you played the first bit yet?
Yes, I played the first bit when I had the PS4.
Oh, yeah, of course you did, yeah.
And I'm playing 16 at the moment. And I must say, I fear for my square button. Because that's not all you ever seem to do in the game is press the bloody square button.
You do, yeah.
But I'm enjoying the story in that. That's cracking.
So, yeah, it's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm quite enjoying that.
And those boss battles are great, aren't they?
I was going to get on to Spider-Man 2, but somebody sold it out from under me. So I wasn't able to get it. So
you need to do the first one and the other Miles Morales one as well before we do that.
I can't believe the price. Even second-hand Miles Morales is still 25 quid.
Gosh.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Get the first game.
It didn't come out on the PS5, though, did it?
Yeah, it did. The PS5 version of it.
I've not seen a PS5 version of Spider-Man.
Yeah, there is, honestly.
Okay.
Good. Okay, Darren, what about you? What would you be? A couple of games for 2024. Wait, sorry. What about games you're looking for? You know that's coming out that you're looking forward to.
Games I know that are coming out, I'm looking forward to. I'd like to hear more about Perfect Dark because I'm a massive fan of the. I know that's rare, but I'm a massive fan of the originals. And
it's
also,
not rare. Everybody liked them.
Obviously, I'd like to hear more about Fable. I don't think it'll come out this year. And also Stalker 2, because obviously what's been going on over in Ukraine, that was originally slated for October, I think, and it was coming to Game Pass, and it's all gone quiet. So I'd like to see where we're up to with that, because I'm very excited about that. But in terms of the developer direct, this was the one last year where they shadow dropped Hi-Fi Rush, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
When they did this last time. So there's rumours apparently that Double Fine, who made Psychonauts, are going to shadow drop a game. Whether that's true or not, who knows? Wow. So I don't know what that could be, but a shadow drop would be very exciting as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Just speaking about Hi-Fi Rush, there's been a few rumours that they're going to release it on another platform, aren't there?
Yeah,
on another console, whether it's going to be the Switch or whether it's going to be the PlayStation family. They're not quite sure, but there's rumours swirling around that it's going to be released on another platform. What do you boys think?
There's rumours that Sea of Thieves is going to go to PlayStation as well.
I've seen those rumours. Yeah. Actually, sorry to interrupt. Yeah. I'm not particularly looking forward to it, but it would be nice to get closure on the whole Sea of Thieves. Not Sea of Thieves, Skull and Bones. To see that actually make it over the line would be quite a nice moment, even though I have no interest in it whatsoever.
Yeah. It's meant to be out in February, isn't it?
Yeah, February 14th.
February
16th. Okay, great. What am I looking forward to? The games I know that are coming. I'm looking forward to Hellblade 2, of course. Can't wait to get released out on that. And I am looking forward to the Star Wars game, Star Wars Outlaws from Ubisoft.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think they've said now maybe it's coming out later in the latter part of 2024. I'm really looking forward to that. The games that I want, of course, are going to be really boring. I want to see a new Assassin's Creed. I think kind of RPG, big Assassin's Creed one, which is the Japanese Assassin's Creed Red, which is set in Japan. I got a feeling they're going to announce that. I think that's might be this year. There is a rumor about it. I think that might happen. And then the other thing. What's the other one I really want to go? What would I like? Something. I don't know what else I would like. That's it. That's all I want. That's all I want. That's all I care about.
Milk and go to bed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you want now.
Paul, you would surely want Gears of War 6 as well, or Gears 6, whatever they'll call it.
But I don't know when that's. I don't know when that's going to be out. I mean, there's going to be one because they left 5 at the end with such a cliffhanger. There's got to be a 6, but yeah, I mean, I don't want them to rush it because I've got a very soft spot for Gears of War.
Do you remember when they used to have like the AAA games and they used to say, like they have a conference in May or something, and they go, this game, blah, 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 and it's coming out in October. And it was like a AAA game. That doesn't kind of happen anymore, does it? On the AAAs, you kind of get, we wouldn't ever think that on January they go, here's a new Gears of War 6 and it's coming out in April. It generally doesn't happen because they will want to. They want to build up the momentum, the marketing of it as well. They would need a year or 2 years lead up to it. It's a shame that I used to love that when they used to go. Like I remember Fallout
back in the days when it came on a 4K cartridge.
Even with Fallout, I remember Fallout 4 was Bethesda. Fallout 4 was in E3 and it was coming out in September, and that was kind of like the last of those big ones. That was kind of we didn't know anything about it. Good. That's it. We're going to find out more from the Xbox conference next week, which we'll cover, and we'll hopefully see our 2024 diary getting packed full of things to look forward to. What are we looking forward to next week? Paul, what are you looking forward to?
Just, now that Christmas is over and stuff, it's back to life and back to reality.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got lots and lots of work lined up next week. I think the highlight of it is I've got to talk to a man about sorting out a new multifunction copier scanner thing for the office. That's as exciting as my life gets.
Great.
So there you go.
Good. Great. Hear about that next week. Darren, what about you?
Get it in the diary. We're going to Lincoln to do some axe throwing for a friend's birthday on Saturday, so I'm looking forward to that.
To do some
have you ever been
what?
axe throwing? Axe throwing.
Oh, yeah. The boy does it at Scouts, and I may have had a go. It's quite
great
good fun.
It is great fun.
Just be careful because they bounce.
They do bounce. We went on a stag do a few years ago in Manchester. We found out we'd had a couple of drinks and we said, no, we definitely haven't had a drink. And it bounced off the wall and absolutely crapped myself. Yeah. But it's great fun. It's good fun.
Good fun.
So looking forward to that one.
I thought you said X throwing. I thought you'd just get X's.
Just throwing your X.
Your X against the wall.
I can't tell whether it's flattering or insulting to think I could assemble X's in Suicide Squad.
Wow.
I hope Ryan is listening to this podcast. That'll be a revelation.
Yeah, well done, Gareth.
Yeah, ruined it, haven't I? Yeah.
Well, that's fine. I won't see you for libel.
Good. Great, and I'm looking forward to lots of fun. A film's coming out. Killers of the Flower Moon is coming out on Apple. Scorsese film is coming out on Friday, so I'm going to give it a go. It's very good. And that's it. Thank you, Jim, for your time. It's nice to see you in the new year. We're looking forward to 2024. We'll see you again next week. But for now, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the official podcast of TheXboxHub.com. You had found all the notes of this show at www.thexboxhub.com/podcast. You can also check out our social feeds on Instagram and Twitter at The Xbox Hub and search for The Xbox Hub on Facebook.